All right, everybody, welcome to PowerNation Live on Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, everyone. I am never ready when they say go. Everyone's like, we're live. I'm like, I can't say definitely.
You pretty much did
I
count
know.
for us.
I'm completely unprepared.
It's Friday afternoon.
It is
We're all
Friday,
half
though.
asleep.
We've got a lot done. And it's been horrible weather the whole time here. It's been raining like crazy. Everything is flooded. Tennessee is underwater. I could kayak to work for the most part. And everyone's struggling with the rain.
Oh, I know what we were going to do this week. If you guys have any serious questions that you want to ask us about stuff that we're building or stuff that goes on the show, shout it out on the little comments thing,
Yes.
and the Kate, our camera operator, will ask us the question if it's legit.
Yeah.
Don't troll us.
Try to get that.
What would constitute a legit?
A legitimate question. All right, here's a good example. A legitimate question would be like, LT, where did you get that cool hairstyle from? Or
Nobody.
That is legit?
yeah, I will absolutely answer that question.
Nobody
Or
would ever
you
answer.
say, why did you get this cool idea to make an all-wheel drive, old body style Chevy? It will answer that.
I
But
have a legit question.
LT, how are the withdrawals going that you haven't had a diesel in the shop yet?
you know what? I drive a diesel every single day, so I have just enough diesel in my blood to get me through.
It's the fumes that get you. That's what it is.
You gotta start it up, put your head down by that nice 4-inch exhaust, just kind of do like a little bit of that.
Get in.
And fall over.
It's better than any cup of coffee or energy drink you could have.
I'll have to take your word
Monsters.
for that.
Got enough percentages.
All right.
I like
All right,
the
so
monsters.
what's on air this weekend?
Okay, first up, you guys are our first in a row. What's on your show today?
We're working on our Scout build-up of suspension.
Okay, so it's a repeat for the Scout suspension. Okay, and again, we go through this every week. We have repeats, and we always have this constant question: why are you repeating when it's a new season? Well, because the way our builds go during the season, we have to show repeats because we do all the work here. We don't have a production team. We don't go sit in the trailer and drink smoothies while the work's getting done. We do all the work. 80% of what gets done here is done off camera by us. So to help with that and to help with new viewers on a new network, History Channel, seeing what we are and what we do, people who are not familiar with what we do, we show them some of our older projects.
Ooh,
So-
you know what?
Ooh.
Talking about questions, I know we had a lot of questions as to why we switched over from the Dyno 44 and the Scout over to the 10 volts.
Okay.
And the reason being is that our 10 volt is pretty much just as strong as the Dyno 44 that came on the Scout, but it's wider. So we were able to have a better turning radius when we installed the laser axis.
Right. And now, and another one of the questions I always saw about that
Yeah.
was why they think that the axles are too small for that application. We didn't build it for a mud blaster. This was an overland vehicle.
Overland vehicle, a daily driver kind of vehicle. I mean, Dyno 44s and 10 volts are very strong as it is.
Yes.
You really have to romp on them to break them.
Right. And I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So, okay, so that's good. Where are we? Us in Engine Power this week, we take a very special trip down to Winder, Georgia, to one of my friends I've known for 20 years, John Kazi. John, if you're not familiar, John Kazi is the Ford guru. He's not just a Ford guru, he's an engine guru. This guy, he's a true engine builder, a true innovator. He makes his own parts. He has a shop that's very successful down in Winder, Georgia, and we went down for a big block Ford build. We did the 632 for you guys, and we went down there and we wanted to do not as a Comparo, but under the same idea. We wanted to do a big block Ford, and John has a really cool cylinder head coming out called the SR71. It's out right now. They're shipping this thing. It is spectacular out of the box performance. And going down there, we built an engine and we dyno it, and you're gonna love it. So plus, the guy's a wizard.
I think you got to add too what he's doing on the side with the Miss Geico team.
This guy, because he's who he is, and he's very sharp. He's won the Engine Masters like 9 times. He's gotten into offshore powerboat stuff. Now, the previous people that they were having some issues with this, with some durability on these. Literally, they're giant. Basically, it's a giant LS. This thing is a 550-inch, very similar to an LS base, like the new stuff. They're overhead cam, and these things make mad power out of the box. But they put big turbos on these things, and they run about 2,000 horsepower. There's 2 of them in the boat, and this is this boat it goes 175 or 185.
They went from having problems to winning championships.
They went from
No
having
breakdowns.
breakdowns to not having breakdowns. and that says something about how sharp this guy is. So
That's awesome.
we went down there, we built some stuff and dynoed it, and it was a lot of fun. So what about you guys?
Yeah, so this weekend we're going to be working again on Project Red Tide, our 88 old body style Chevy. Bring you guys up to speed. Last thing we did, four-wheel drive truck, lowered the suspension. In this episode that's going to be airing this weekend, we're going to yank out the old TBI 350. They made like 190 horsepower when it was new, and probably much less. Yes, it's getting an LS. That's probably the second most popular thing that you could do to that truck. So it's getting a 5.3 LM7. It's actually a new crate motor that you can get from Powertrain Products. It already has a cam in it, valve springs, and a few other simple upgrades. It's actually a power plant that you guys developed
Yes.
in conjunction with Powertrain Products.
Correct.
So just a 400 horse drop-in engine. We're going to stick a 4L80 behind it, and that'll match up to some other transmission, or rather other transfer case and front differential goodies that we have in an even later episode.
What is the plan for this truck?
Well, that's a bit of a loaded question because the truck's pretty much done as we speak now.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
guys at home won't see much of it, but the best thing I can compare it to is a GMC Cyclone. That was a truck that GM built in the early 90s based off of the S15, S10 chassis. It was a four-wheel drive base vehicle that was lowered down to the ground. Inside the transfer case, they changed a bunch of stuff. They put a viscous coupling inside and made an all-wheel drive with a power split. So we're basically going to recreate that using full-size drivetrain parts from a later model truck like a Silverado SS, a Denali, or an Escalade. Basically, we're making what we believe is the world's first, this is a pretty good claim, the world's first and only all-wheel drive, old body style Chevy. That's an 88 to 98. So we use an NV149 transfer case, the GM 8.25 inch front differential from the same 2003, 2004 year Silverado. That's in a nutshell what we're doing.
All right. Okay. Well, Detroit.
Muscle.
Detroit, they're
Where are
working
you?
on their.
They're not here.
Yeah,
They're actually traveling. They're shooting some stuff up in Indianapolis. They've been up there. Actually, if you follow our Facebook and follow our Instagram stuff, there's been some updates of what they're doing up there, and they're getting a lot of good content for a future show. So, what's
Thought they were rowing like across the matches or something.
yeah, they could be. They're swimming across it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
But,
So their show this weekend is also going to be a rerun along with XOR. They're going to be working on the interior for an IROC Camaro that they did, I think last year, maybe the year before. And they test drive a brand new project, again, a rerun, but they test drive a brand new project, a 2016 Chevy Camaro. And I think that's pretty much what their show's going to be. Road trip test drive and, budget interior fixes.
Good.
So they're actually, I don't know if they're actually working up there. When you're on the road, well, we know what we do on the road, so I don't know. Yeah, they're actually probably working at some capacity. So we'll see when they get their footage
It's
back.
awesome when we're on the road because that means we're off the road.
Well, yeah, I don't mind being on the road. We were in Vegas 2 weeks ago. At Matco Tools, which was fantastic. I mean, it was a great place to be. But I love travel. I spent the majority of my career traveling. So we do this because it's nice to get out of the box. We not only do stuff in here, we go out to places, we show parts, we show manufacturing, and we're gonna go like we've done in museums and things like that. So,
What did you guys do this week?
what did we do this week?
What did you do
We
this
played
week?
on the Dyno.
Yeah, that was fun.
We got a little project coming up, a 408-inch small block Ford. They got some cool part swaps done and
Yep.
made awesome power.
Yep. Well,
On 93 pump gas,
on
we've been
93,
really knocking those things out with
Yeah.
part plates.
I think so. We're doing a lot of the small block Ford, small block. So far, upcoming, we've done the big block Chevy. We've done the big block Ford. That's this weekend. Small block Chevy, small block Ford. And we're gonna throw some Mopar stuff in there, and we're gonna be doing. We're getting all these engines lined up, and there's a method to the madness. I assure you. We're getting all this up. We're getting an engine inventory here in house for something very special that's coming in the shop. That's coming into our studio.
Pretty soon.
And it's gonna be awesome. So you're not gonna want to miss. That's all we can tell you right now. So
What'd you guys do?
Okay, so this week we're actually working on Project Red Tide again, even though it's almost done. We're building a custom exhaust right now. It's actually all we did this week.
Yeah, what did we do early in the week?
We only shot 2 or 3 days this week, so we were not on
Slackers.
vacation.
Trying to swim here, right? That's what took. Yeah.
Well, see, the guys Detroit Muscle, they're traveling. We had to give up our videographer for the first half of the week, so
we could.
we had to just do catch up
wrapped
work.
up the front end conversion and all that.
Yeah, that's the other thing we did.
What you guys did in my truck?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I got an
It's
idea.
gotta be my truck.
I got an idea. We always want to see, the younger kids coming up, be focused in this automotive aftermarket in this industry and make it live forever. The first person that messages us with a 12-year-old or younger kid, we'll send one of these cards to you all signed up
Why
and ready to go.
don't we send this one? We'll sign this one so we can see it. That's a good idea. Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Hey, anybody got a gearhead? Kate, you're on the nothing, huh?
Question?
No,
There's a
any
question?
Question.
Three
questions.
There we
All
go.
right.
Go ahead.
From behind the scenes of the peanut gallery is Rob Campbell.
Rob, shout out the questions. Let's hear it.
Right
All right, we have three
behind him is a
questions.
videographer. Look at that guy. He's like editing stuff and everything. That is Rob Dolphin.
All right, we got 3 questions going from excellent to just kind of snarky.
Let's hear it.
It's all good.
Duncan Menzies has a question for Engine Power. Does Engine Power plan on doing any more Pro Street style cars?
I would say yes. Me, because I'm old school. I'm from that era where Pro Street was cool. And my rule for Pro Street, if it has a giant tire on it, it's got to have enough engine to pull it around. So, could I say what it would be? No. I do foresee something cool like that in our future. I love that Nova project. I love it.
It turned out.
That's an 8-second street car. That doesn't get any more exciting for me. What else?
All right, second question from Pat Tom Jones. Hey guys, it seems the shows, all of them are going with just one host. What's up with that?
It looks like there's 2 hosts here. There's 2 hosts there. There's 2 hosts there, and and Tommy and Mark are still an item.
I'll take a stab at that one, I guess. A lot of times, depending on people's personal schedule and the shooting schedule, and depending on what we're doing in the show at the time, a lot of times you won't have 2 people on the show at the same time. Truck Tech in particular, yes, we will have a fair stretch where it's going to be just myself. We have Austin here, he's just joined us, but when Jeremy made the transition to go back to his own shop, there was probably a 6 or an 8 episode stretch where it was just me. But other than that, there's nobody else is changing. Every show still has 2 hosts. Everybody's still here.
I think this weekend's episode is the epised where I actually get announced on the show
Yeah.
that I'm coming.
Okay.
So
So-
it'll start
So
integrating.
it's a legit thing. You will work here.
Yeah.
Although you already have.
All right, I think we have another question for Engine Power. Why do you still use carburetors?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's my
Why
favorite
not?
question.
No, don't.
Well, and unless we get into like an extremely technical dissertation about it, carburetors, there's nothing wrong with carburetors. And the big argument, everyone's panicking right now because they think I'm going to drop a bunch of F-bombs and talk about it. No, the carburetor thing, it's because of what we do. We do a lot of old school hot rods. There's nothing wrong with injection. We've done fuel injection things in the past. When we have an application for it, we do it. Typically, the science behind all of it, the engine itself, it doesn't care what it has up top, and you're going to get arguments. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off.
Hold back.
The big thing is people think that one will make more power than the other, and in reality, that's not true. There are some benefits to fuel injection from partial throttle, initial startup, tip in, light load, partial load, cruising. But when the go pedal is mashed to the floor where you're denting it because you can't press it any further, they'll both make the same power if they're both tuned right. The end. Period. So that
Short and sweet.
I've dealt a lot in fuel injection. I used to program fuel injection, and obviously I'm an old school carburetor guy as well. But there are applications for both. When we have an application for fuel injection, we'll have fuel injection. We have an application for carbs. We have carbs. Carbs are they're dirt simple. They're easy. They're easy to work on. They don't require a lot of heavy maintenance. They don't have the added level of complexity from a sensor standpoint, from an electrical standpoint, and I just like them.
It helps us out on our time frame as well.
And it helps them.
Getting these shows
If
done.
you can understand how to tune a carburetor correctly, fuel injection is cake. Because what fuel injection does, people spend thousands of hours and millions of dollars to do what a carburetor does intuitively. That's the basis of it. And the fuel injection is, in almost every percent of the time, will have better drivability. As far as outright power, they will make the same power if they're both right. So I hope that answers the question.
All right, we've got another question here. Scott Soberg is confused on what channel we're on.
Oh, well, that's an
History
easy one.
Channel.
Great question. We are on the History Channel. Depending on your local TV provider, the actual number of the channel may be different. So check your TV provider, check your local listings. We are on the History Channel Sunday mornings. Our block of shows starts at 7 a.m. Eastern Time and 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Now you work backwards as you go through Central and Mountain Time from 7 a.m. But History Channel is our primary network that we are on. We are also on NBC Sports. I do not know off the top of my head Friday evening-ish.
Friday evening.
But again, check your local listings. It's on our website, PowerNationTV.com.
We're starting
History
to show up
Channel.
on a lot of local affiliates. Too.
Yes. So another thing, our company is actually owned by a company that owns news networks. So there are a lot of local channels. The company's called Gray Media. So if you have a local TV station that was owned by Gray Media, you will see our stuff there. That's very localized. So again, check your local listings. But the main network that our stuff airs and premieres on Sunday morning on the History Channel.
Cool. All right. Anybody got big plans? What's the big plan? I'm going to get a kayak and kayak down my river because that's what my driveway looks like right now. It looks like the rapids going through the Grand Canyon. So,
I've got a cool project going on.
what now? Oh
you
yeah.
gonna tell 'em?
Tell them about that one.
Porsche Cayman S, doing an LS swap in it. Going to be a pretty healthy LS1 car. Going to show it off at LS Fest East this year later on.
We had talked about this now. How easy it is. How easy is it to put it in? And do they make stuff to connect together in the back?
Yes, it's a mid-engine, and little company, Kennedy Engineering, makes adapter plate, and clutch setup, and everything for it. So it's basically a bolt together, piece for the engine and transmission. There's a couple of companies that make cradles and bolt-in kits for the motor mounts and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and make my own because where they had the engine located puts a funky angle on the half shafts. So I'm going to take care of that. Make it a little screamer, a little
Get
Corvette.
anything
to it.
done on your Camaro?
No.
No?
It's
It's been raining so?
nonstop. Yes. So,
Diesel? How's that going?
Diesel's great, man. I turn the key every morning. I drive to work. I drive home. I mean, it's a Duramax, so
great.
Does everybody know what you have?
I mean, what you do with like one time you pulled the transmission and did all that stuff. I'm expecting to make this thing mid-engine at some point. You're gonna do something crazy or
Dual power diesel.
or put
Yeah.
another axle under it or do something crazy. What about you guys?
I bought a new project. I'm working on a 94 Yukon.
Cool.
I've been bugging Pat and bugging Mike because it's been causing me some issues, but I think I got them straightened out.
You got it.
Yeah, now we got her handled, so I'm just about got that wrapped up. And what are you doing at home?
Well, I finally got everything gutted out of the cab of my truck, and so it
What truck?
on my 53 Willys pickup, and now I'm going to start taking out the Hurricane and the transmission and transfer case. So
Where
we'll
are
see how that comes out.
where are the parts that are for this vehicle? Where are they being stored again?
In one of my guest bedrooms.
Yeah, why not?
I'm actually thinking of moving my Sporty inside to the living room so I have more space to work.
Okay. Now, for those who don't know what a Sporty is,
It's a motorcycle.
it's a motorcycle
Yeah.
in the living room.
Just make sure it's clean. Oh, it's a Harley though. It'll leak.
It'll be fine.
You got to put the puppy pads on
Yeah.
it.
That's right.
All right.
I think we're good.
It's
Over and out.
It's over now.
Yeah,
Thank you
for real.
very much for tuning in. Thank you for the
Leaders.
questions. And again, History Channel. And
oh yeah, we got to sign
this right here, we're all going to sign this. Anybody who messages in, message in your address. First one that Kate sees is coming your way. We'll send it out.
All right.